Clap it up and welcome to the live Tower Fire podcast. I tracked down the biggest idiots I know, and we're going to see how long we can do this before my YouTube channel gets pulled. So, but before I invite on the Tower Gang, it is the opening ceremony for Summer Porch Tour, and so we will have the cracking of the sandwiches. Please. I would like to introduce the world to the Run Your Mouth Hoagie Boy. A man who has spent the entire winter in hibernation, taking steroids, doing push-ups, and eating hoagies. How does it feel to descend upon the world?
Fantastic.
There you go. It's the energy we're hoping. So what hoagies have you been working all winter?
So I brought these subs from Marion Subs down in Ruskin, Florida. They have lettuce, tomato, pickles, onions, hot peppers, oregano, and oil.
All right, and what
is there meat?
Yeah, that's what I was. That's the best part of the sandwich. Did Hoagie Boy show up with rolls and vegetables? He's to be thrown out of the kingdom. All right, let's try it again. Let's start again. What kind of sandwich is it?
Okay, it's got cooked salami on it, ham, provolone cheese, plus all those toppings.
Hey.
All right, there we go. That's a sandwich. And for the fine people, we're going to distribute, and we're not classy, so just take a bite and pass the hoagie. That's the way we're doing it. Get out there, feed the audience. We got you right in front of my camera again.
Give me a hoagie. It's a sandwich.
All right. Chaos. For those of you watching the live stream, they're literally murdering each other over these hoagies. 70 people came out for the show. They have not eaten in months. They were saving up money to afford the ticket to this. All right. I'm going to hand over the live pod now to the Tower Fire Gang. Here, their noble leader. I've elected you their noble leader because you have the largest following. It's chaos in this room. You're going to have to wrangle some control. People are excited over the hoagies. Let's give a warm welcome to Clint.
Hey! What's going on, y'all? How about rounding the fucking fire, huh? Yeah! Goddamn right you did. Welcome everybody to a live edition of Tower Gang Power Hour. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for showing up. This is fucking incredible. We'll do the introductions as we usually do. The #1 truck driver in the world that is also quasi-libertarian and tremendously autistic, Reed Coverdale. Come on down. Weighing in at 275 pounds at 4'11", it is Jose Galison. The #1 chess master in the world. Oh, bring it down, brother. Woo! Are you joining us? Sure. You only know him because he's a morbidly obese version of the greatest libertarian walking the face of the earth. It is Fat Comic Dave Smith, a.k.a. Cole. Welcome on. And the greatest graphic designer that has ever graced the planet. The host of this fine event, Mr. Top Lobster. Give it up. Jesus Christ, Fat Dave is really trying to live up to the name. Crushing the sandwich right in front of you. All right, so we're going to actually, for those that don't know, and I'm sure many of you are here for Robbie and not for us idiots, we have been doing what's called Zyklon Shoutouts, which is a genocidal March Madness. I don't know how else to describe it because that's literally what it is. Where we have taken a bracket of, what did we start with, 12? 16 categories of people that we find reprehensible. I have no idea why. And we have decided episode by episode who goes on, and we are down to the final 2. So this is like literally a group of people are going to die after this episode, which is kind of harsh. but it is what it is. Anyways, Toad will break down how we got to where we are.
Well, yeah, as my mouth is stuffed with sandwich right now. Here, hold on.
Your mouth is always stuffed with sandwich.
I know. That's right. There we go. Oh, thank you. I was going to choke myself out, which maybe sometimes I do enjoy doing that, David Carradine style. So as Clint said, we have been doing April Cyclone Showers during April, which is a tournament in which we've assembled 16 of some of the worst groups of people on the planet, and we're determining which one of them should be genocided. And we're down to the final two. The final solution, which will be determined tonight, the final two groups are the Fats and the White Women. And these groups are both strong competitors. They're both 1 seeds in the tournament. They both made it the whole way. On the left side of the bracket, the Fats advanced in the first round over the E-Thoughts, basically because we all still need to masturbate.
Speak for yourself, too.
Then, the Fats had a tougher matchup in the second round against the Jews, which in the previous round, Robbie had actually voted to exterminate his own race.
It's the only way to make it in this world.
And I thought there was some compelling, case for the Jews, basically saying that they run everything and they're actually the cause of the Fats. But the Fats won out anyway because fat people are funny. And then the Fats also advanced in the final, or in the fatal 4 round, I should say, over Bitch Fuck Cox, who are the loser brigade, fakertarian type of people. Yes, which is part of the Tower Power Hour lexicon, which is why I thought they had a very strong case, and they continue to make a strong case for themselves. Reed came up with the term on the show.
I say, Toad's the kind of kid if you're trying to trade baseball cards with him. He'd be like, I'm not giving you this Barry Bonds. Do you know about this Barry Bonds? This thing was written up in the 1965 edition of Topps magazine.
That's exactly right. If you can't tell, I was also obsessed with sports statistics as a kid.
Anything but women, I would believe.
Racial statistics. That's what
Exactly. I read the bell curve at a very young age. But the Fats advanced again over the Bitch Fuck Cox again, I think because fat people are fucking funny. On the other side of the bracket, the White Women first advanced over the incels because we pretty much realized we just couldn't eliminate most libertarians. Then they proceeded to advance over the disabled in a matchup where we had Crypt Daddy, very hilarious disabled comedian on the show.
Huge mistake, by the way, because looking out in the crowd right now. You didn't tell us.
Exactly. So Crypt Daddy. Yeah.
I wanted to need you way out.
We moved this as far away from the city and ramps as we could. So the fact that they still journeyed here really is.
I literally made the path as rough as I could.
I
still found the way. It's amazing. Next year, you guys come up next year.
I don't know how they got here.
I appreciate the challenge, homie.
I fucking love this guy. I fucking love him.
Crypt Daddy voted to exterminate his own kind and called the rest of us pussies for not voting for the disabled in his presence. White Women advanced because we do think that white women are the source of most problems on Earth, I would say, probably. White Women, again, also part of the Tower Power Hour lexicon, where we do have a saying, white women must be stopped. And white women...
And they might be.
White Women then in the fatal 4 round advanced over the Movie Talkers, which was, I decided the matchup, and it was closer than I thought, and I think that's because a couple of you were just pussy whipped.
Or maybe we're not racist, but whatever.
You are racist, in fact. That's the whole point. So that's what we've led ourselves to tonight.
Well, thank you for the recap, Toad. That was glorious.
So I gotta be honest. Jeez. We're making popcorn, everybody. So I'm a little bit confused. So we're saving one, like the winner gets killed, the winner
Yes.
gets saved.
Winner gets killed.
Where gets
Correct.
genocide gone, 100%.
So I guess you're right. That's kind of the loser, but you know what I'm saying.
Okay. And so we're down to fats and white women.
Correct.
But other women would still be around.
Yes.
So we'd just be getting rid of the white race, basically.
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, there would be a lot of mixed people.
Who wants to live in that world? I mean, who's gonna get anything done? Like, I mean,
well,
This is a fair argument.
Indian people. I mean,
Asians, yeah,
The Asians, I mean, like, the most productive people on earth. Like, I don't know who you're talking
All right, so I'm the newcomer. What are the rules? How do we go about making?
So basically, we make an impassioned argument as to why we want to see a certain group of people die. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what we've been doing.
And are they allowed representatives to plead their
Not
case?
historically. However, it has kind of coincided that we've had Jews arguing for the genocide of Jews, which is weird, and then cripples arguing for the genocide of cripples, also weird. And tonight we will actually be having, sorry, not you, a representative for the Fats. I don't know where he's at, and oh, there he is. And how did I miss you? And a representative for the white women, which is my Novia Ashton Birdie.
I gotta be honest. I don't know if this guy's fat enough to represent the fat.
I
feel
agree.
like you would make a better representative for the poor. That would be.
we already kicked them
I
out.
also just want to say really quickly, it doesn't really matter how you vote. It matters how we vote. Well, we will take a hand vote as to what you guys think, but it doesn't fucking matter.
All right, so I think we're gonna invite on our defendants, or should we lay out our claim first, or do we?
Oh, 100%.
Actually,
We need to go.
let's make our case.
We're gonna make our case first. All right, so who kicks it off?
God, I don't even really want to start with this because it's a really tough one. So, my main incentive here is to eliminate Hillary Clinton, and I don't know that any argument is going to get me off of that path. I really want to see Hillary Clinton killed. So, but I think that white women, because I love both my girlfriend and my mom, that's kind of a good argument against that thesis. Fat people.
Is technically fat.
What's that?
Hillary Clinton is getting fatter, so you might have a good chance.
That's a
Making a good case for white woman, Ashton.
Fat people, I think that they're probably the funniest people because they have to make up for their, consumption. So Bert Kreischer, but Bert Kreischer did agree to come on the show, and then he didn't, which makes me kind of want him to die too. So let's go around the bend.
So no decision.
I was really torn on this, but he brought up the Bert Kreischer point, and yeah, fuck that guy. So I'm, going, I'm not even gonna elaborate. We're just going fast.
So I'm a libertarian, so I'm a root cause kind of guy, and I'm trying to think like if there are more fat people who are white women, or just more white women who are fat. So if we get rid of the fats, if we get rid of more of both groups, that's what I'm kind of thinking. So I'm gonna go with white women. I feel like most of the well, it's hard. Most of the fat people I hate are white women, but the other is also true. So I'm gonna wait for the rest of the panel too. I think.
Well, I've been arguing this entire tournament that white women are the scourge of the earth, and they are essentially, they are the HR people, the Karens, they're the coastal Democrats, if you will. And I think Robbie is actually wrong. We would not be eliminating the white race if and Clint disagreed with me when I argued this, that we could breed white people back into existence.
Hey, we wouldn't be eliminating the white race. We'd just be finding better breeding stock.
Right. Also, get rid of white women, whatever. We still have Latinas, and they're fucking hot, so.
Yeah. 1 second. If you guys were late to this show here, you missed my mural of Yakub in the back. I have a huge mural, and we're big fans of Yakub, who created the white race, which is all of you guys. So.
I think we haven't established did we ever establish what constitutes white? Like, are Italians white, or like,
No.
did we ever?
I might
Well,
have
I go by the the inverse of the one drop rule. So you have to be purely white. You can't have anything else. So if you're 99% white, you're not white. Because then that leaves a lot of like close to white women.
I mean, by that standard, Elizabeth Warren's an Indian, so.
I mean, are you about killing like 3 people here?
Well, here's the thing with white women versus fats. It's like I watch a lot of comedy. I watch a lot of other things like any shows or anything. It seems like if you're going white women versus fat, are there any good white women? And my wife included. She's pregnant, but every fat guy I've met, not fat women, but at least the fat guys I've met have all been better than my wife. And yeah, better in bed. Like they know how to suck a dog.
Thanks for the compliment.
You're welcome.
Is that why you got her pregnant, to keep her alive?
That's hard because as long as it's a boy, I'm fine. And I've told her this. She doesn't know. Like, tell the audience.
I love how I'm trying to give this in-depth explanation. Really, just didn't want to wear a condom.
But like, can you name one good white woman? Anybody in the audience? Anybody? What you got? You? No, I'm not gonna take that. Like, I mean, I don't know you. I mean, like.
That's a strong argument against white women.
You said no to being the representative for white women, so I can't take you as also being the person that's good enough for
I'm
white
gonna
women.
pipe in and say, hot women don't come to libertarian events. Let's not shit on the one that shows up. What are we doing? You're right. Whatever you said. I don't know what you said. Sure.
We have to genocide that. That's it. I haven't really put much thought to this. I'm gonna say white women just for the sheer annoyingness of it. Like so far, we have not had any fats. Any fats in the room object? All the fats in the room are like, probably just kill me. And the white women are like, oh no, keep it. And for that reason alone, I'm spite. She objected? Did you object? You didn't object.
You're winning with your silence. Don't say it.
I'm on your team here. White woman. What are we thinking?
All right, so I'm going to argue against my self-interest here because I come from a long line of fats. I will at some point in time be fat. I'm Jewish, so my family's not white. And I'm going, that's what I'm saying. You understood it. I'm getting rid of fat people.
All right.
I mean, I don't even know how this is a contest.
But why?
I'm not putting my dick in their vaginas.
Have you tried it? What do you know yet? Have you tried a fat chick, Robbie? I feel like it can change your life. I mean, how much do you know you like sandwiches until you try the sandwich? I mean, now just go to people that like sandwiches also.
Any fold is like a sandwich.
Are you being for real? You've never fucking fat chick.
I wasn't even gonna answer the question.
I mean, it's not something I'm proud of, but let's be real. It's fun.
Real talk?
Yeah, real.
They got the tightest pussies.
The rolls keep it tight.
No, there's a threshold where it's like when you're chunking, it creates a little pressure down there. Once it goes into roll category, it's releasing that pressure, and so you give up all the vagina tightness gains that you had.
There's also not a conveyor belt of dicks running into the fat chick, so that makes sense.
So what you're saying is Tom Woods is a genius. Do you know how great it feels to make love to a woman and them thank you for it? It's great.
You ever fucked a girl and she'd be like, "Want to go out for a cheeseburger afterwards?" Is that cuddly? I mean, I'm down with that way more. I mean, it's just...
Fats don't. I mean, white women don't breathe on the airplanes. They don't decide that that they want my seat as well as their seat, and then breathe on me.
No, I'm sorry, but the white women are like, can you wear a mask, please? Sir, can you wear a mask? Are you vaccinated? That's what the white women
But I feel like I've been, you know, the autist in me, you're kind of merging together all white women with like the Karen category of white women.
Right.
So you're almost saying that like there's such a high degree of the bad white women, I gotta get rid of all.
Well, give us
But I gotta be honest, if I'm looking at the category of women, there's other races that have way worse women.
Well, that's not an option. We've already. Neighbor hierarchy. Could you clarify as to which race of women is
Yes.
worse?
Heavy set women from Atlanta that also happen to be black.
Those are all movie talkers. We already cut them off. Well, see, this is the best counter argument, in my opinion, is that fat people are already kind of taking themselves up, whereas white women, like, it's a big event when one of them dies. So we can expedite this process, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but fat people almost still stick around too long. It's not a quick enough process.
Okay, that's fair. I think it's time to bring up our representatives to defend their respective categories. First off, sorry, I forget your name. What's your name? John of Swamp Creatures? Yeah, I got that one.
One of us now.
John, welcome in.
I'm from Florida.
He's not fat enough. This is bullshit.
I was gonna say, you're gonna make the fat guy stand? What the hell?
You see, look at how needy the fat people are. Shows up right away.
Have you met white women? Well, are you ready to? I guess can I introduce?
I have no mic. You do it. You got
All right, so there you go. Yeah, you introduce your girlfriend.
Mi novia, mi corazón, Miss Ashton Whitty. Welcome in.
There you go.
To defend the white women, so I can still get laid. Go ahead.
It's fine because I lose. I can lose my Venezuelan card, so it's okay. Hi.
Done with white women, I changed my mind.
You're not fat enough. I'm sorry, you're on my lose. So I want to first off by saying, technically, if you really think about it, since the disabled already lost, doesn't that include fat people? Because fat people are practically already disabled in many cases, right?
So you're just making an argument that you should move on and get genocided because the disabled already made it. Like,
Wait, I thought they were genocided already.
Yeah, but white women are also disabled. So.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Easy sweat.
Tony, you just don't want white women because you can't get laid by one, okay?
But I can just sit here at this point, she'll make the argument for me.
Listening does one thing you can't do.
the only thing I know about white women is they lie. So I mean, like, continue. Like, but.
Hold up. Actually, move this a little bit. Just the reason why I'm cutting out is because this is bouncing off that.
Needs to redecorate already.
I mean, John, what do you bring to society that Ashton does not?
Okay, so we've already kind of gone through this a little bit. Humor. I actually have a personality. I can't just lay on my back and open my legs. Everyone loves me.
He actually has to produce something in the world.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I have to actually like justify my existence.
But isn't that all women?
Is that what?
Isn't that all women though?
You don't
All women?
justify
I mean,
shit.
sure. But I have to do it extra, right? I have to actually work. Yeah. I have to,
Right, but how can you breed? Like, how can you populate the earth without women in general? So either make an
Not
argument
women
against
in
all
general.
women or just white women.
No, just white women, of course.
Okay. So this is my question for the fatty. Okay. So that's it. I got it.
You can't work the microphone. Come on.
So what can white women offer that like other women of other races don't offer?
Why would I make an argument?
What can women of other races offer
Oh,
besides
perfect.
that
You have
white women can't?
Perfect.
That's my question for him.
Okay, so who's got the best asses? Black women.
Clint will debate me with that one.
What's that? Who's the most passionate? Latinas.
Clint would also debate me with that one.
What are white women bringing to the table? What are they bringing to the table? Flat asses, bland cooking, and tears. Why do you want that around? Who wants that around?
This guy for president.
Oh, you were so happy over your white women. Like, here's the thing. I feel like I'm a bad person to be up here for this because I am none of those things. Because I'm technically Latina, I'm technically cheating at this, so I don't know what to do.
So then a lying white woman, right? I mean, you can see that in fact. I'm sitting hiding that.
I can't represent white women. I'm half Latina.
But wait a minute though, if he's making an argument against all women, that's still an argument against white women as well. So I don't see why that's a problem.
All right, so how do we come to determination?
I'm literally up here because my boyfriend made me come up here.
Yeah.
I just do as I'm told. I'm being honest.
That's actually a good thing for white women. They do what they're told. I mean, that's.
There are other races that do that better.
You've never met a white woman.
I will say, while we were laying up in bed earlier today, she's looking at she's house hunting, even though we have a 6-month lease, so I don't know why she's doing that. White women shit, you know what I'm saying? And as she's looking at it, she's like scrolling, she's like, perfect, and I have to change everything about this house. And I think that's the perfect encapsulation of white women. It's like everything's perfect, and yet it's totally fucked up. And this is why you have that.
Let me get an argument. Would you want to live in a shitty house? Would you want to live in one with really bad paint and really bad flooring and a really messed up kitchen and all the utensils are fucked up? Just saying.
As long as it has a big ass.
Okay, I think we've made it. Any closing arguments? You killed it. You killed it.
Yeah.
I
for a long time.
almost respect fat people. At this
Kill
point.
white women! Kill white women! Kill white women! Kill white women!
Which is this microphone even working? All right, yeah. Oh, it's on now.
That was God. As long as I don't move from this very spot, if I just stand completely still.
You say so too.
So, how do we come to the determination here?
Unfortunately, it's democracy.
Jose already said he changed his vote from fats to white women. I'm going to vote white women too because I don't hate all fat people, but all the white women that I really hate are fat. So I'm just
Yeah, I'm voting for white women as well. I think a much higher percentage of white women are horrible.
That's it. I mean, it's hard to really argue. I mean, some of my best friends are fat. I mean, my best friend is white, and she's a white woman, and she's my wife, and she's having a baby.
By the way, that's going to be a high stakes gender reveal party. By the way.
If it is a woman, we're already putting bets on it. I mean, just like Robbie said. And so, but I'll have to go white women too. And just because, even though Jim Pisaki just stepped down, even though all these, I mean, if they all were just gone, I mean, is it not just? It's just in America. We're not just doing better. I mean, are we just not?
It's a better world. It's a better world.
It's a better world. I mean, Europe is gone, basically. That's better. I mean, Africa, we didn't get careful with them anyway. So, I mean, this is all better. You're right. I don't want to touch that one.
well, since it's fucking unanimous at this point, isn't it?
Yeah. Be careful. Yeah. Be careful.
Is this even on? All right. I'm gonna make the only argument for white women that can be had. I'm gonna do it. Every girlfriend I've had has been white. My mom's white. White women, you guys, you just gotta stop being so obnoxious. But other than that, you're incredible in bed. We're gonna keep you alive.
Clint's argument is you showed me my boot and I locked them.
You guys want pancakes in the morning?
Is that what you call your ass?
I'm just gonna body Jose here, white woman, no explanation. Sorry.
All right. I think
And technically, that's women.
as far as the court case goes, I feel like fat people really, prevailed
Presented
there.
their case.
Yeah, we got Johnny Depp here, really.
Also, I feel like fat people, like I like bakeries. I feel like fat people mostly keep them open in business.
True.
You know, so it's like when you want to go out and be a fatty, the only reason you're able to do that is because of the loyal fat fucks that are actually there on a daily basis. So,
Also, Robbie, I know you're a comedian fan. How many fat people would you want? If they're dead right now. I know there's so many dead fat people right now. You would want how many of those back? How many white women comedians would you want back right now?
But you know what? Can I say
There's
something?
no white woman
I
comedian.
vote for white women too, actually, just because of that.
Yeah, I mean, we could be like Chris Farley comes back right now, but you also get, I mean, any white woman. I mean, just any white woman
Who's
comedian.
that white woman that passed out and like cracked her head from the shot?
That was awesome.
First funny white woman back. She died, right?
No, she's alive. No, she's alive.
no, and she got boosted so she can do that again. All right, so we're declaring a winner.
Hey, let's get an audience vote real quick. I mean, this is where it's. I mean,
It doesn't matter what you say, but
Raise your hand for white women.
all the man. Thank you, man.
I like how the entire audience howled.
I just realized I was like, raise your hand. And raise your hand for fats being eliminated. Respectfully, one lady in the bag that wants the fats eliminated. White women, you dead! It's over!
All right. I'm gonna now retake control of the Run Your Mouth podcast. What? Well, we made it was a month-long contest. We made the determination. So I figured while we're here on Summer Porch Store, I'd like to get to know you guys a little bit. So I have some questions for everybody, and then we're gonna get into some of the biggest news stories of this past week. So, Fat Dave, I'm gonna start with you.
Jesus.
And my first question is, what happened to the llama face guy?
The llama face guy?
Yeah, you guys had the first time I was on the tower getting by, you had this guy with the llama face. It looked like he was on a can of Turkish coffee. What happened to that guy?
Nick, actually, I honestly, I mean, if we're being honest, we have no fucking clue. I mean, is that, I mean.
He wasn't down with the niggers.
All right, next question. This one's for Toad.
Yeah.
What are the new laws going to do to your abortion business?
Well, I never have sex, so I don't think that has any relevance to me. I don't really know.
Your abortion business.
You need a sex kill, baby.
Yeah, you have an abortion business, not like your business in abortion.
What? Oh.
Best argument for abortion.
All right.
So I was like, what is abortion?
Just forget the question.
We'll turn it to Reed. So I know you got the Natural Capitalists. You're leading a movement and liberty of men not to shower. Can you tell us more about this movement and how it's going to move forward with, push the liberty cause?
Well, I just first of all, I'm glad you know who I am now. That's great. But on top of that, has anyone in here been to a truck stop shower before?
I mean, that's where I find my lot lizards.
Yeah, like if you go to a truck stop shower, it makes you, consider the option of going 3 weeks without taking one as the cleaner option.
Why are you always wet?
That's when I'm home and I'm just taking a shower at home because I haven't had one for 3 weeks.
Huge pussy.
Yeah, I think, we're kind of the nomads in the political space, and we're kind of the, we're the simpletons in a way. Like all these Democrats and Republicans, they've come up with all these complicated ideas of like quantitative easing and, transitory inflation or whatever. And we're like, no, stop, just be dumb and realize that adding more dollars is just like if you have more Legos and your friend wants to trade with you, like, you deplete the value of your Legos. So it's really just bringing it back to a dumb caveman kind of, just primitive style. Yeah, naturalist. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's where it's going.
I said it best to Adam Kokesh. She said, this shit is retarded.
Yeah.
So whatever we know, just get down to the basics, like the lowest common denominator. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
There you go.
In a end of the world, this one's for Jose, Boogaloo survival scenario, who from the Tower Gang would last the longest?
Probably.
Oh, dude, I can make some good arguments for. It depends. There's so many different ways a collapse can occur. You know, like now, are we talking wealth? Is that something that's going to come into play? Obviously, Clint. Are we saying someone who has an extended, supportive network? That's obviously me and my Hispanic friend over here to my right, top lobster. I don't really have a good argument for Cole. I mean, or Toad. I mean, one works with computers and one can give me a fucking blueprint. Thanks, man. But if my gut instinct would be Reed. I mean, that's his thing. Is everybody immediately goes to, we gotta go fucking survive in the woods or some shit. Obviously, like, anyone puts a little bit more brain power to it. Realize there's more than one fucking collapse scenario. But the generic collapse scenario, Reed all the way.
And let me say, we all found out today, Cole actually noticed the package. Did you notice that?
Oh my
Dude,
god.
Clint and Reed, they got fucking hogged.
I gotta see Clint later.
Wait, I didn't get to see your guys' dicks. Why am I
No,
going to see
no,
your
I
dicks?
didn't know they saw mine either. This is
No,
I'm part of the club.
There's two. Is this one? I can't tell.
It's this one. It's the black
Yeah.
one.
That's always the look.
Those movie talkers.
Sorry.
Here's the thing. So I mean, we were walking out to go shoot some guns today because we shot some guns. We had some little fun, and I was standing out there, and then Reed, if you can't see, he has on some of these rugged pants. I mean, basically this stuff is made out of polyester. I don't really know. I mean, it's literally. It's literally the thickest pants you can imagine down in Florida, and his bulge looked like a baby's head. Like it was. I mean, this guy, and I put it. I was like, dude, what are you half chub right now? What's going on? And he was like, this is just me, bro. And we were walking out there, and like, if we see any alligators, Reed, you can just hit it with your dick and kill it. I mean, like,
Reed's supposed to be staying here tonight, and now I'm having second thoughts. He was just way too nonchalant, and how he's like, yeah, that's how it is.
that's how it is.
When I saw your dad, I was like, is that packing too? And now I don't know.
That was Reed's thing. Have you seen Clint's thing?
Okay, so Clint's wearing, I mean, just regular shorts. I mean, these things are, and regular shorts, if you have a above average penis, I wonder if he's wearing underwear or not, but I mean, it's just kind of, that's true, he's not wearing underwear. I mean, he has a 20-year-old girlfriend, he's not wearing underwear, like, she's, and hair was also sticking out, but the way Reed through that thick-ass pants, I mean, with the,
Defend your dick.
I don't realize you didn't have a mic.
Wait. Clint is a known liar, so I have not seen his dick. I'm not sure, but go ahead, make your case.
Oh, I don't have a case. If you guys want to argue I have a big dick, I'm just gonna let you. But I feel like I have like forward-mounted hips, which makes my package protrude more than it probably ought to. So I'm gonna be modest here and just say that it's my hips, not my dick.
You got broken hips because you're old.
We've determined he's got no ass, so that correlates to the ass.
Dick to ass.
Yeah.
So that's like skewed statistics, but that's whatever.
I also want to point out that I appreciate everything you said, but you got to remember you've been standing in front of me for a few minutes and you turned around and that ass, man. I can't help if I get a little bit excited.
I like to think that Reed is a shower, not a grower, but that's just whatever. I mean, we'll find.
Clint, any comments on that?
Shower and a grower. It's fucking it's intense.
All right, so now I'm going to turn to our host. You said, fuck you, New York. I'm moving out to the middle of fucking nowhere in Florida. I don't care if I have to kill gators. I don't care if my neighbors are growing crystal meth. I don't think you grow crystal meth. That's
doesn't live here.
But no, you got a nice little fortress here. I like people that go out into the middle of the woods and just be like, fuck it. I don't know what you're gonna do out here. I don't really.
We're so close right now. I feel like you were gonna kiss me, but keep going.
No, so tell us about this interesting little patch of 10 acres of swamp you bought.
Yeah, so New York was terrible, and we decided to come out here, bring our family, and and then bring out the rest of you fucking maniacs. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
We have people from Utah and Boston and like from Georgia 5 hours. It was amazing. But yeah, we decided to just do a fucking like a homestead, and we're trying to make it. Here's Brody walking into the shot. Here's the dog. That's a homestead dog. And a shout out to Liberty Alliance, Haley over here, for really organizing a lot of this stuff.
All right, so we've got the lobster over here. He's bought his property. He's got his guns. He's got his thick ass walls. What? Got a tractor. So I'm gonna hand this to Clint. Clint, how nervous are you getting about the food situation next year? And what kind of arrangements are you making?
I just think it's good because the fat survives. We get to start out, which is kind of the best of both worlds. No, as someone who actually enjoys food, I'm concerned, to be honest. And it's, are we supposed to be serious? I'm serious.
Yeah, we're turning wheels now.
Here we go. Seriously.
We off the fats, and now we're going to cover some actual news topics.
I talked about this in May of 2020 when I was like, you can't lock down the global economy and expect us to eat. Like, you just can't do it. And they didn't listen. So I'm very nervous, man. And on top of that, we're now putting on sanctions on Russia, and Russia is also essentially sanctioning the rest of the world by only selling their resources to friendly countries. And Ukraine is now it's the breadbasket of Europe, and it produces, I think, 40% of the world's wheat exports. So I think that we're in for a rough patch, to be honest. And I try and always like keep in mind, I read a lot of libertarian shit, so like maybe it's not as bad as I think, but I think it's gonna be bad.
On that note, what you were saying with we can't shut down the world economy and just have like feed the world.
Right.
So this is a good segue because it was the first topic I wanted to get into. It was wild to me. The WHO, the World Health Organization, they put out that the actual COVID death numbers were 15 million. That excess death last year was 15 million, and so it's far greater than what we initially thought was with COVID. However, they counted every single when they say excess death, they mean the people that weren't diagnosed. They mean the people that couldn't get like the surgery that they needed. They basically mean every single unintended consequence from the bad COVID policy. Which you and us as rational people, we were going, hey, this is going to lead to more death. They pulled a great maneuver here where they're counting that as, oh, look at how bad COVID. No, that wasn't COVID. There's a clear distinction between the government reaction and now what we might see in a year from now, which is, I mean, I can't do basic algebra, so I can't figure out food supply wise.
No, of course.
I'm just glad they're not counting autoerotic asphyxiation code.
He almost died a couple times. No, you're totally right, and I think that when you see the discord, the social unrest across the globe right now, it starts to add up. You're like, all right, yeah, maybe closing down the economy creates additional problems that aren't COVID affiliated, but they're more lockdown affiliated, and that's why I titled my show what I did. I was like, this is a catastrophic misstep, and it happened on a global basis, which is just astonishing to me. But I think we're going to pay a huge price. We're already paying it, the inflation, the food shortages. If you live in America, and you see the cost increases. I go to fucking Publix, and it's like 50%.
Clint's really poor. He just pretends to be rich.
Wait, shopping at Publix a poor thing?
I don't know.
I go to Whole Foods and like, damn.
I ain't shopping at Whole Foods. I ain't bougie. I ain't a white woman. Anyway.
Well, they're all gone, so that's fine.
So yeah, I think we're in trouble, man. I really do. Like I try and maintain a sense of optimism, but in the interim, like I think that we have just broken the supply chains and we're going to pay a price. And there's nothing. The crazy thing is like the only answer the Federal Reserve has is either printing or lowering rates or raising them. That's what they got.
And neither of them work right now.
You don't make food with that.
Let me just preface this with, like, I think last week Clint was like, I can't make it to the show because the Federal Reserve raised their interest rates, and I'm feeling really sick. So I was like, holy shit.
I heard the episode. I missed the episode, but I listened to it on my drive up. and y'all were like, if this guy's for real, that's crazy. I'm dead serious. Like the fact that they hiked interest rates, I was fucking shook by it because I understand what it means, and I don't know. Like I shouldn't have missed the episode. You're right. I'm sorry, but at the same time, like hiking interest rates really does fuck up the economy. We're gonna pay a price.
I just want to admonish you for missing an episode.
You guys have been on it forever.
Toad, you're on thin ice.
All right, so along the lines, we're going to cover two more recent and news stories of basically them just kind of doing a really good job of not taking ownership for the mistakes that they made. So Johnson & Johnson is no longer being recommended, which is an amazing walk back from the bold claim of safe and effective. So like no one's been fired for going, it's safe and effective. Now we're not recommending it, except you know who they're still recommending it for? If you won't otherwise get a vaccine. Which makes no sense whatsoever. Because just think about it, at this point, if you haven't been vaccinated, what are the odds that you have not gotten COVID at some juncture in time? And now you've got something that they won't recommend because of the blood clots, but if you haven't been vaccinated, in their minds, they're still going, well, it's better than nothing.
How much crossover is there between? I just want to let you guys know this is a super spreader event, so you guys are okay.
That's right. How much crossover is there between the people that said that the vaccines are safe and and everything like that, and the people that said that abortions were safe, legal, and rare? I mean, like, it has to be a huge crossover between those people because
It's a circle.
I mean, it is 100% a circle because it's crazy how much. And I sent Robbie this before the show, and I said, hey, do you want to talk about this? And it was that the DOD just put out, I think it was some type of memo or something.
I just want to preface that there's very few things that happen that are COVID related that are good news. As a resident expert in AIDS, the more people get it, the more of a marketplace I will have for teaching people how they can live with it. So,
unfortunately, it was the DOD sent out some type of order that what's that?
I think it was an advisory order.
But they want to test everybody within the DOD for AIDS or HIV and sickle cell. And I mean, most of those are dudes. So I mean, your market hasn't really changed that much. But and to me, that's insane. Even the Army, the Department of Defense is like, hey guys, we can't. I mean, we're looking at this. A lot of we're testing so much positive.
We might have to go to war with Russia. We can't have an army with AIDS.
Imagine they go to war with Russia and it's just they're sitting over our soldiers to fuck their soldiers. And they're just like, we'll just kill them in the long run.
If you want to really boost the AIDS numbers, just test the people here in the villages. I mean, fucking highest STD rate in America.
All I can say is I'm not going to get AIDS from a vaccine. I'm going to get it the fun way by having sex with women.
I'd like to get it from Reed, but now that I have to see this package, I'm a little intimidated.
It's interesting because I think the vaccines are equally safe and effective to abortions because vaccines just cause an abortion. So
It's true.
wow.
And autism.
Yeah,
That's what you have, Toad. Okay, so last topic that we'll cover today. So, I mean, one of the most outlandish claims was that the vaccine was going to cause AIDS, which now, I mean, it seems to exist somewhat in reality. It's not confirmed. Another one was people were very concerned about data collection, and it turns out that the CDC was actually purchasing data, which is odd. I don't know why they don't just get it from the NSA. Apparently, they were purchasing it from Peter Thiel, and they did have data, including how compliant are people? Are people actually still social gathering? Which I would love it if they actually had all this data on it. If maybe the CDC could just turn into the show Maury. Just send you a letter hey, here's your dad. You can find him here. But I'm just throwing it out there because it was a pretty incredible admission to the fact that they actually were tracking us to see whether or not we were COVID compliant.
Yeah, Top actually saw it. I've been getting a call once every 3 days from the CDC, and I answered it the first time and listened for a minute and a half, and then I just hung up. And they call me back every 3 days, and I'm just ignoring them now.
What are they saying? They're asking.
Does he currently have COVID?
Are you gay?
Here's where you fucked up, Reed. I just don't answer any numbers I don't recognize. So.
Correct.
well, yeah.
But I mean, can we blame this on George Bush? I mean, really, can we go back and be like, this dumb idiot, like put in the, yeah, and then he also, I mean, he started.
It's Jacob's fault.
I mean, he started the Patriot Act, and I can't imagine that they didn't go, okay, we have this thing already in place. We could just go use this and then just kind of coerce whatever, I mean, Apple or Samsung, whatever, and get these apps on these people's phones. And then we'll just use that and we'll spy on literally every American. I mean, I can't imagine that. I mean, if you go back, because people go, this is, Joe Biden's fault or something like that. But it goes back to, I mean, all this shit started with Bush, started before that with Clinton, started before that. I mean, it goes back, and if we didn't have these warmongers, I mean, if this is almost a thing of saying, hey, these wars are so bad that they're making you spy on you just for medical reasons. I mean, I can't imagine this is.
Well, this is the best argument that we're up against Uniparty, because you have the Patriot Act that comes in under Bush, you have the re-up additional wars that come in under Obama, then you have Trump that comes in, declares a national emergency, doesn't fire Anthony Fauci, then you have Biden that comes in and just fucks us all in the ass. So it's very aggressive, but there is no bipartisan defense to be found, which is why all of us have, for the most part, except for this psychopath.
No, Dave Smith's 2024.
Dave Smith's 2024.
They don't find me a vote for the Libertarian Party because we're neither left nor right.
At the start of the show, I made an announcement that when people were getting antsy, they were free to walk out, and they took us up on that offer. So everyone, think of any last words before?
We got one last thing, don't we, Clint? Do you want to do it? Yeah. All right, here we go. We're gonna see how fucking based this audience is. I have no idea. N-I-G-G-E.
I'm in
All right, guys, thank you. What does it spell?
All right, everybody, thank you so much for being a part of the Summer Court Store. We do have limited edition. Our host tonight was an incredible artist, and we've got limited edition top lobster items, including edible worms, the top lobster, I guess killing other lobsters, I'm not sure what those Dave Smith eating people.
It looks like LSD.
All right, it's fucking awesome. We got the Dave Smith limited edition sweatshirt. So if someone's got some cash, top bid wins it. We can do that, after the thing. I'm done. I've been up all day. All right, thank you, everybody. This is fun.